a little bit of time to get the job done, but it's time for us to raise again. And if people here can keep the secrets sacred, then things will be revealed to them. As of now, I haven't really opened the doors to ancient Egypt to you and given you the secrets that we have kept sacred for so long in Wasa. Knowledge that you're supposed to know about yourself and how it all happened. I haven't done it as of yet. I talk about history, I talk about science, I talk about the creation and destruction of the world, but I haven't pulled that elite group aside and passed on those secret words, the word that Asif wanted from Ra so bad. The secret words that the Freemasons have been trying to get that gives you that power of divinity. I can't pass it on until people are ready. And you'll know when you're ready when you become your own judge. You follow? So it doesn't make no difference if you was here 20 years or 20 minutes. If you intend to do the right thing, if you intend to work by spirit and not by body, if you intend to become a part of the rays of the sun's light, it'll be easy and you won't have missed nothing. But if you come here and you just want to be a part of a mystical order because it makes you feel spiritual, you don't take your initiations, you don't follow the instructions, you don't do anything that is subscribed to in lessons, then you're just wasting my and your time. And it's just something else to do. In the Freemason Lodge, there are those that are serious, and there are those that just buy their way through the 3 degrees. You follow? You just read them and they just walk around Master Mason with a ring and a symbol, and they don't even have a clue of the secrets and the hidden meanings of these things. None whatsoever. But they think they do. They belong to a fraternity. They go to the lodge meetings. They go to conventions. They put on the apron. They put on the 3 great lights. They tote their Bible, compass, and square, and they learn certain of the triad terms that are used, you know, from degree to degree as they raise. But they don't get none of the. They never pass the royal arc and turn right. They pass the royal arc and they're hit with a light in their eyes. And that light I spoke about several times is a blinding light. On this side of intellect, light is blinding. And the way to teach a student is to teach him about the light. Tell him the light is the knowledge, the light is the intelligence, the light is the intellect, the light is the guide, the light is the way, the light is this. But light blinds. Darkness don't blind. And all Freemasons are blindfolded, as I mentioned just yesterday. And while they're blindfolded, in that period that they're waiting in the lodge for someone to remove that blindfold, the inquisitive mind starts to work. In the darkness, their mind starts to speed up, it starts to race. What's going on? What's going to happen here? What's coming up next? What's going on? Who's this? What's that scent I smell? What's this here? This wood? You understand? Why the cable toe? Why my leg, one pants leg raised? Why this? Why that? You follow? That's when they're divine. Once they remove the blindfold, then they're blind. When you hit them with the light of Freemasonry and start giving them the principles of Freemasonry, and start giving them the tools of Freemasonry, and they put the Bible in their hand, and they point down on the altar, and they open the Bible, and there they put a compass and a square, and they look down and say, these are the 3 great lights, and they look down at them. When in actuality, 3 candles are surrounding the altar, and those are the real 3 great lights. When you have the person look down, you point down, he looks down, looking away from the 3 candles that represent the 3 suns, they know right then that he is blinded by the light. And that light is the compass and the square, and how they will build this Bible around him and reshape him from a God into a mere man. You understand? So in our order, all the symbolisms and all of the tools that we use all are geared towards you being able to see in the dark and avoid the beam of the light. You understand? Yes?
How do you know once you reach that point of enlightenment, then what?
See? See the word? See the word? Enlightenment? I'm just saying, see how they did it? I'll tell you when. When you get to the point in the enlightenment that in all that you read and all that you studied, you still feel there is a, what's the word? Say it again. A void. And what follows void in your Bible? Void and darkness. Once you finish all the studies and all the religious dogma and all the arguments of who was here first and who's the greatest and genetic this and science this, and then you still are hungry for something. You follow? And that is the spiritual journey from void into darkness. And in darkness is tranquility. But they've taught you the prince of darkness, the devil, is evil. You see the reverse? And the light is right. The warmth, bathe in the light. In ancient Egypt, what they had was the three sons that you know as what? Shemeth, Utu, and Asu. They had them as Atum, Atun, and Amun. And those are the three lights that you see in the Masonic Lodge representing the three candles, or even on the floor of our lodge, the three candles. You only need to light a candle if you're in the... Let me ask you about that for a minute. If you're in the dark, are you with me? And the dark is ignorance, absence of intelligence, absence of common sense, evil. How do you have the intellect to know to strike the match? How do you know to light the candle to get the light if darkness is ignorance? So you see where the deception came in. The beings that were in darkness knew about the light. People in light cannot see darkness. While you're on earth and you look through the day, you know there's light, but right outside the earth's atmosphere, you know there's darkness. Which is more, the light that surrounds the planet or the darkness that is the universe? So which one would be more likely where the Supreme would dwell? In that light that is contained and restrained within an atmosphere based on reflection, or in a boundless universe? In a boundless universe where darkness is. But there must be intelligence. If that intelligence or if that darkness was transformed into light by combining hydrogen and helium atoms to make them create a cycle, to create a sun, to send down a beam and explode and created solar systems, there was some intelligence involved there. But that intelligence was in darkness, and the results was the light. So void and darkness was intelligent, because even in their Bible it says what? Well, what does it say before that? In the beginning, God created heaven and earth, and what? And void and darkness upon the face of the deep. And the Spirit of God moved upon the surface of the water. Start again. After it was void and darkness upon the face of the deep, and the Spirit of God moved upon the surface of water, the Spirit of God was moving in, and then he said, let there be. And that's when he starts a chain reaction of consideration. You know what I mean by that? God created and then had to stop to see whether it would be good. He looked and said, and he saw that it was good. So when things got into light, it did not necessarily mean that they were good, because God created these lights and then said he saw that the light that he created was, so the light was not necessarily good. And that's why in Islam they had Nur and Nar, and Nur represented the light and Nar represented the fire, and therefore that light was not necessarily good. It was always, as I said years ago, independence of how one uses it. You can strike a match to light a candle to guide, or you can strike a match to burn down the house and kill everyone. There is temperament in light. There's no temperament in darkness where there is no attempt. Because in darkness, your only fear is tripping over something you don't know is there. So if you hold still and hold your peace in darkness, divine manifests. But where there's light, there's doubt. You hear me? You'll know, because your mind will reach a point where you start to say to yourself, there is more to know. There is more to know. And that hunger will cause the divine in you to come forward if you discipline yourself. You hear me? And there is more to know. And it's not out of reach. It's out of trust. I can't pass the secrets on to you people until I know you're ready for them. They've been protected for thousands of years.